Hello, good morning, everybody. Good evening and good afternoon. We will wait a few seconds for the rest of participants, and soon we will start our webinar. Okay, I think we can start. So once again, hello everybody. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Thank you very much that also this time you are with us. It's a big pleasure for me to be again with you. This time we will speak about thematic trip to Poland, group trips, and pilgrimages. This webinar will take around 45 minutes till 1 hour. My name is Dominika. I am responsible for English speaking sector at Ernesto Travel, and also with our owner, Ernest Mirosław. It's a pleasure for us to be with you also this time. We are very happy, we are very grateful that you found some time for us also this time, and you are with us almost from the beginning. Some of you are with us almost from the beginning, and I hope this webinar will be interesting for you. Of course, after the webinar, if you have any question, please don't hesitate to contact us. Here on this slide, you see 2 email addresses. My email address is incoming@ernesto-travel.pl. Also, you can write to the owner of travel agency, Ernest Mirosław. And of course, during the webinar, if you have any questions, you can write because my colleague Deborah is to your disposal. Ernesto Travel, our travel company, is based in Krakow in Poland. Office has existed since 2006. Owner is Ernest Mirosław. We are a member of Polish Tourist Organization and also Małopolska Tourist Organization. Ernesto Travel English webinar programs. From October 2020, we have made many webinars. Some of them you can see here on this slide. We start from webinars about the Poland. Later was a webinar about the Baltic state. Next, school and student trip. Also, we made webinars in other languages like Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, even Japanese. So as you see, we are very open for all markets, and we try to improve our webinars from month by month. Today we will speak about cultural trip and pilgrimages. Later, also in March or maybe in April, will be the Polish webinar about Polish mountains, the Lake of Mazuria and natural parks. We also plan to make a webinar about the MICE incentive conferences and the congresses. And also our last webinar will be about imperial cities, like trip from Central Europe, Prague, Vienna, Bratislava, Budapest, Krakow, maybe Wrocław, and Prague. So this is a schedule for next month, and I hope you also will accompany in these webinars as well. Some information about Poland. Actually, I would like to divide this webinar per 2 parts. First of all, we will speak about the differences and similarities in in leisure group and in pilgrimages group, and later we will give you some point of view, some information about Poland, what is good to see, what is where is good to go to know better our beautiful Poland and the best places. So you see the Poland on the map of Europe is marked on red color. Some basic information about the surface, population, currency. We have still Polish zloty. 1 euro is equal 4.5 Polish zloty. And our language is Polish. What are the similarities and differences? This is our main topic of this webinar. We will compare this regarding the group travel, like leisure groups, and also as pilgrimages. So to be honest, the border between these two groups are very thin. So you will see exactly that even you are the leisure group, you can put some point of the program from the pilgrimages group, and also if you are pilgrimages group, you can put some point of the program from leisure group. So we made tailor-made program. We are open for your suggestions. We are open for customers' needs. So if you have any other idea, please write us. We will try to do the best what we can to give you the variety possibilities and many choices to make the group satisfied. What are the similarities? Let's say start from the hotels. It doesn't matter if it's a pilgrimage group, if it's a leisure group. We cooperate with the best 4- and 5-star hotel. These hotels are in highest qualities. Hotels mostly are located in the city centers. Of course, if the group have smaller budget, we can also organize stays in 3-star hotels. Please remember that also 3-star hotels are very in good quality here in Poland. It can be mountain hotels, it can be hotels in the city center, or it can be hotels located in the, for example, a spa area or a resort area. Also, it's the possibilities of accommodation in the pilgrims' houses. For example, if it's a pilgrimage group and they have lower budget, not enough to stay in a 4- or 5-star hotel, we can recommend 3-star hotel or even pilgrimage houses, which are very popular, not only in Krakow, but also in other cities in Poland. Excellent restaurants. It doesn't matter which kind of group it is. We also use the best restaurant with traditional Polish cuisine. Also, some dinners can be organized in the hotels, or even, as you can see on the photo, in underground restaurant, like in Wieliczka Salt Mine. Sometimes we have also this kind of request. For example, when a group would like to organize the last dinner, like a gala dinner, we can provide for them something special. Similarities, the best guides. And it's really true, because we concentrate and we cooperate only with the best guides. What does it mean, the best guides? The best guide doesn't mean that the person who accompany with the group, tour leader or local guide during the visit in the city center, they are person who passed the special exam. They made a course. Sometimes the course takes 1, even 2 years. And after that, they pass the special exam to be a licensed tour guide or tour leader or local guide. So we have variety of guides which speaks many languages. We can organize group in German, English, Spanish, Portuguese, even Japanese. So the most important things to cooperate with the best local guides. We also we pay attention a lot on this. So our group exactly are accompanying with this guide, the best one. Also, the best coaches, how we cooperate with many transport companies. The drivers speak English. They are very punctual. They know the programs. They know the visiting places. And the buses, it can be mini buses. It can be buses with 49 places till even 69 seats. In the bus, and the buses are not older than 3 years. So it's really good and new coaches with good equipment. Similarities, so similar programs and visited places. As I mentioned before, it doesn't matter if it's a pilgrimage group or the leisure group. We would like to put something for everybody. For example, visit in the city center, visit in the salt mine, visit in the Polish mountains, or visit in the Gdańsk, Gdynia, Sopot to see the Baltic shore, to visit maybe medieval castles. These programs are very similar, as I mentioned, but of course we can add something special according to a group we request. For example, if it's a pilgrimage group, we can organize private holy masses every day, or maybe visiting in the places related with our Polish signs. So everything according to the group expectation. The differences. Pilgrimages are accompanied by the prayers, celebrate Mass, pray on the buses, recite the Rosary. So if the groups come with the pilgrimage purpose, generally always they have their own priest. We help them to organize masses, as I told before, in the places which they require. Of course, we can also suggest something special, for example, Holy Mass in the underground chapel in Wieliczka, a salt mine, or maybe Holy Mass in one of the chapel in Łagiwniki, in Divine Mercy Sanctuary. So also we can do everything what the group suggests for us. Of course, if you have a special requested, please always write us. We will find a good solution, the best one, to make a group pleased and happy. The differences. Pilgrimages visit places of cult, sanctuaries, travel in the footsteps of the saints. This is the main point of the programs. The group can visit Wadowice, the birthplace of John Paul II. They can visit Kalwaria Żydowska, Częstochowa, other places related with the Polish saints. But of course, in the program are places for visiting, as in the common programs for leisure group. As I mentioned, the visiting in the city centers, concentration camps, or village salt mines. So we can combine two programs in one to be satisfied for the groups. And now some information about Poland. This of you who accompany us in the before in the other webinars, perhaps they know this information. Maybe some of you already visited Poland and you know it. And you know these places, but I would like to remind some the best place which is worth to see, which is top one in our program through Poland. Poland is divided per 16 voivodeships. The main cities of the voivodeships are marked on colors. For example, North Poland with Baltic Coast, Warmia and Mazury marked on blue color. Central Poland with Warsaw, Łódź and Kielce on red. Southern Poland, Katowice and Warsaw mark on green one. A yellow one, it's Lower Silesia, Dolny Śląsk and Greater Poland mark on yellow. And Eastern Poland with Białystok, Lublin, Zamość and Rzeszów on violet one. Poland is also a good place to visit 16 UNESCO heritage sites. As you see, the most of them are located in the south part of Poland. So if the group are accommodated in Krakow, they can't easily see most of them during 3-4 days if they stay in this south part of Poland. Of course, the other one very important, for example, are Teutonic Castle in Marburg or Old Town in Toruń, Wrocław, Jawor, Świdnica, the churches of peace. In Krakow, Wieliczka salt mine, Auschwitz-Birkenau, Kalwaria Zebrzydowska, and many, many more. So during this webinar, I will also describe some of these places to know them better. Poland with many sanctuaries. Really, it's amazing amount of the sanctuaries. So if the groups, the pilgrimages group are focused on sanctuaries, everybody will find something for themselves. So you can choose with many sanctuaries which are related with our Polish signs, and not all. South of Poland, Małopolska. As I mentioned, if the group are accommodated in Krakow, during 3-4 days, they can be in all of these places, because the distance from each other is not long. These places are not situated far away from each other. And the most important in Małopolska are Częstochowa, one of the Marian shrine with Black Madonna, with the image of Black Madonna, Auschwitz-Birkenau, ex-concentration camp, Wadowice, birthplace of John Paul II, Kalwaria Zebrzydowska, another Marian shrine, Wieliczka salt mine, Krakow, beautiful Krakow, or Zakopane, Polish, with the Polish mountain, it's called the winter capital of Poland, and also Dunajec and rafting through this river, through Dunajec river. Krakow for all, not only for leisure group, but also for pilgrimage group. It's a good city to come here all over the year, for Christmas, for Easter, also winter time. It's very interesting. We organize the group tour. The group tour start, for example, from Wawel Castle, and they are passing by the King's Road, finish in front of the Florianska Gate. We can organize holy masses, for example, in beautiful St. Mary's Church called Mariacki Church. During the tour, you will know the history of this place, of beauty for Krakow. You will pass by the largest market square in Europe. You will hear the legend about the pigeons, about the towers, Mariacki Church towers, why one is lower, one is higher. You have to feel this atmosphere of this amazing place, because Krakow is beautifully highlighted during the nights and create really beautiful and amazing atmosphere. This place attracts all of people because of its beauty. Krakow is also famous because of the museums, the Historical Museum of Krakow. I mean the art gallery, which is situated in Sukiennice, in Cloth Hall. You can see this on photo on the right hand side. And also very popular and amazing is underground museum, full of multimedia presentation, which take tourists on the journey to medieval Krakow. Amazing exhibition contains coins from 14th century, ceramics, other utilities, objects, and even hygienic objects from 15th and 16th century. So underground history is an evidence that Krakow is that the culture of Krakow and the history, it's very, very old, and it's this exhibition, I think, can attract even the small one, even the children and teenagers. So it's also good to be in the to visit underground Krakow with the rich history. The Czartoryski Museum, with one of the important paint, Lady with Ermeline, with Ermine, Leonardo da Vinci. This is one of the oldest museum in Krakow because it was founded in the beginning of 18th century. You can also admire painting from 13th till 18th century, but the most important and this one which attracts to visit this museum is Lady with Ermeline. So also tourists willingly visited these places during their visit in Krakow. Krakow Museums and Schindler's Factory. Also, I think very important place for visit during stay in Krakow. This place describes the history of Krakow and history of Poland during Second World War in years 1939, 1945. You will learn about the history of Schindler's Factory, about the history about the owners, Oskar Schindler, who saved thousands of Jewish lives by giving them work in his factory. You will also learn how the life was during this Second World War. So this place also can attract many tourists and give them the view of history during the Second World War. Kajimian, Jewish Quarter, only a few steps from Old Market Square. The history of this place is very interesting because the Jewish appeared in Kazimierz from 14th century, and they were there till 19. They create their city called the Jewish town, which was enclosed within a few streets, and they create a strong community. They were very good workers, shoemaker, tailors. They have their own businesses. When the group are in Kazimierz, always they pass by to Szeroka Street with numerous synagogues. One of the most important is Old Synagoga with 16th century cemetery, Synagoga Remu, also with cemetery. And if you have enough time, you can also visit Galicia Jewish Museum. This place provides large knowledge about the Jewish culture, and not only in Second World War, but also in the late before. 6 kilometers from Krakow, amazing place, sanctuary of Divine Mercy, which is related with the person of Faustina Kovalska. Group spent there even half day to hear about the history of the Sanctuary of Divine Mercy, to learn more about the history of Faustina Kovalska. The group stopped in front of the windows of the room of Faustina Kovalska to pray and for the reflection. They can visit the old chapel in Sanctuary to pray in front of the relics of Faustina Kovalska and in front of the special image, Jezu ufam Tobie, what does mean, Jesus, I trust you. Also, we ask a nun from the sanctuary to describe this place, to describe the history of Divine Mercy, to remind the history of this place, and tell us something more about the life of Faustina Kowalska and Łagiwniki. Another beautiful pictures from this place. On the left-hand side, it's Divine Mercy Sanctuary from outside, and on the left, you can see sanctuary inside. A few steps, it's a sanctuary of the Holy Father, John Paul II. It's now also like a center of John Paul II. Don't be afraid. Amazing place, beautiful. This place was is dedicated for life to life and work of John Paul II. Also is established to commemorate the great pontificate of our Pope John Paul II. You can visit it 2 levels, upper and lower church. As you see, rich interiors covered by marble. Some of the part of the marble comes from Italy. Also, many mosaics which present the scenes from the Bibles. Also, group stay for a while for prayer and reflection in sanctuary of John Paul II in lower church, because one of the altar we can pray in front of the blood relics of John Paul II, which is located in the special ample in one of the altar of a sanctuary. So amazing place for prayer, for reflection, to see the heritage of John Paul II. Krakow, the diocese of John Paul II, with beautiful Wawel Hill and Zygmunt Cathedral, very important place for Polish people, because there was inside took place the coronation of all Polish kings, and also John Paul II offered his first mass in the crypt of Leonardo. So groups willingly visited this cathedral. It's amazing also view from the Wawel Hill to the rest of the city and on Vistula River. Also, with the group passing by the Wawel Hill, they can stop to visit private chambers of the Polish king. So everything on the group's expectation. Krakow, Altera Roma, does it mean second Rome? Because if you are in the city center, in the old market square, and you turn around, almost on each street from the closed center, you can see the churches. For example, Dominican's church, St. Florian Church, which was the first parish of John Paul II. Also, St. Andrew Church with Clarice congregation, St. Florian's Church, St. Joseph Church, many churches in the close area of Old Market Square. So this is also a good point for the groups to organize private Holy Mass. Every day you can have Holy Mass in the different church, so also good alternative. Wieliczka, for tourists, for pilgrimage groups, for everybody. Amazing underground world, only 15 kilometers from Krakow. Generation of Polish miners have created through centuries this amazing underground world with long corridors, lakes, chambers, chandeliers, altars, everything made of salt. Beautiful place, one of the most beautiful places in Wieliczka is St. Kinga Chapel. You can see on this photo on the left hand side with amazing chandeliers made of salt, also altars, sculpture, everything. When the group require, they can have a private Holy Mass in one of the underground chapel, for example, in St. John Paul II chapels. After Wieliczka tour, at the end, they can celebrate the Mass there in Wieliczka. Some photos also from Wieliczka. This one is from the last Congress, because Ernesto Travel every year organizes a Congress of religious tourism. And some photos from Polish folklore. If the group require, we can organize special performance during the dinners, which attract also dinner. We cooperate with good dancers, singers. The group can admire the beautiful dresses and dances, not only from Krakow, but also from the other part of Poland. And also some photo from the last dinner during the Congress in 2019. Memorial and Museum Auschwitz-Birkenau, German Nazi concentration camp and extermination camp. Also willingly visited by groups to know the history of Poland and history of this place during the Second World War. It's museum Auschwitz-Birkenau is divided per two camps. First, it's Auschwitz as a museum, and second one is Auschwitz-Birkenau. During 2 or 3 hours, the group can visit two parts of this museum. Auschwitz, located 60 kilometers from Krakow, we can organize visited in 3.5 hours, 6 hours, even visiting 8 hours, or can be divided per 2 days. Many languages, and also hotel and restaurant in Oświęcim if the group would like to stay at night, or if would like to organize the group lunch. Auschwitz second Birkenau, the second part of Auschwitz. You can see the wooden barracks. Some of them are also brick one. Part of the defensive wall, which concentration camp was surrounding, mostly was connected to the electricity to protect prisoners from escape. And some part of railway station and the main gate, because the prisoners, mostly Jews, were transported to the concentration camp by train. It counted that over than 4 million people died in Auschwitz. Mostly it was the Jews. Kalwaria Zebrzydowska, also close to Krakow, around 45 minutes by car, by bus. We can admire beautiful churches, sanctuaries, and also Manierist park. This place was established in 1605 by Michał Zebrzydowski, and Fathers Bernardine take care about this beautiful sanctuary till these days. Wadowice, around 1 hour away from Krakow. If the group visit Wadowice, also we try to put to the program in the same day in Kalwaria to make both places in one day. So they start from Krakow, continue to Wadowice, and Kalwaria, and next Wadowice, which is the home for John Paul II, birthplace of our Polish Pope. Also, group can celebrate Mass in the church in Wadowice. And next, the group visit the family home of John Paul II, a family Wojtyła, which was transformed into the museum. So you can admire also belongings to the family Wojtyła, shoes, skis, bags, jackets, portraits, and many other things which equipped to the house of family Wojtyła. So it's a very interesting place, and almost all group visit Wadowice family home and the church. Some pictures of Karol Wojtyła as a priest, as a cardinal. He loves trips, he loves nature, he loves young people, be with them, organize for example, canoeings with them, nature and young people. It was the beloved things, let's say, for John Paul II. He was very open for contact with young people, and not only, of course. And here, as a pope in Zakopane, view of Morskie Oko, the largest lake in Polish Tatra Mountains, and Pope taking a rest under the tree. Rafting, rafting on Dunajec River, good alternative to spend the day, not only for leisure group, but also for pilgrims as well. Starting from Krakow and going to Zakopane, groups usually stop in Dunajec to admire the beauty of Pieniński National Park, to take a rafting on Dunajec River with craftsmen, which describe passing places of the on the road. They tell the legend about the gorge, about the Janosik, and they inform the clients, the groups, about the other interesting places on the road. The rafting takes 2-3 hours. And it's organized only in good weather. But place worth to see. I think this is one of the best alternative in this part of Europe to spend 2-3 hours and admire an unspoiled nature of Pieniński National Park. And Zakopane, which is called the Polish capital, winter capital of Poland. Amazing mountains, many hiking trails. Everybody finds something for themselves. You can go for a walk to Krupówki Street. You can admire beauty of wooden architecture. We can also organize for the group holy masses in one of the wooden churches. For example, on this one in Jaszczurówka. We can organize ride with funicular to Gubałówka. From this part of Zakopane, you can admire the beauty of Polish Tatra mountains. Częstochowa, one of the Marian place, very important for pilgrimages, not only from Poland, but also from all over the world. Częstochowa is also known as Jasna Góra, with miraculous image of Black Madonna. You can visit also the museum with the treasures of Częstochowa. Also, you can admire the many votive things left by pilgrimages. Also, this one, which left John Paul II. Some photo from the courtyard of Częstochowa, and photo with one of the Pauline fathers with the group. Finally, Warsaw, capital of Poland, with skyscrapers, with palace of culture and trade, with old town, part of the old town. Warsaw was completely destroyed during the Second World War, but it was rebuilt in the great expanse. It's a cultural and economic center with modern skyscrapers, full of multimedia museums. The group can visit Polish Museum, uprising museums, Royal Castle, Warsaw Ghetto, and Park and Castle in Wilanów. So also leisure group, pilgrims group found something for themselves. Also place related with Fryderyk Chopin, Żelazowa Wola, around 45 minutes from Warsaw. You can see the monument of this great composer, and also you can visit the family house of Fryderyk Chopin with a beautiful park surrounded this house. In the summertime, many concerts of his music are organized. Niepokalanów, a place related with the Maximilian Kolbe, who offered his life for another prison in Auschwitz-Birkenau as an act of Christian love. Thanks to him, the Niepokalanów is known as the city of Immaculate, and also thanks to this person, it's the largest Catholic religious house in the world. So always we ask some brothers to describe the history of the place for our groups, and tell them the history related with Niepokalanów and the history of settings this community. Another Polish science, Helena Kowalska, known worldwide as Faustina Kovalska. She was born on 25th of August in 1925 in Głogowiec. It was she was the third from 10 child of family Kowalski. Also, people, groups visiting Głogowiec, they can also continue to Świnice Warskie to visit the church of St. Kazimierz, and also visited. They can also visit the family house of Faustina Kowalska, which now is transformed into museum. So also worth to visit Głogowiec and Świnice Warskie on the way to Warsaw, or from, let's say, Częstochowa to Warsaw. Gdańsk, now we are on the north part of Poland. Gdańsk, Gdynia, and Sopot. This is there are three cities which is known. There are three cities, Gdańsk, Gdynia, and Sopot, which is known as a tree city. With great culture, interesting places. Here in Gdańsk, the group can pass by through Old Town, visit St. Mary Church, also go to Solidarity Museum. Gdynia, they can admire one of the oldest destroyer, floating destroyer called Błyskawica. They can go for a walk to take a rest. And spend some nice time, for example, in Sopot, going through the largest wooden, the longest wooden molo in Europe, 500 meters. They can go for a walk to take a rest, admire the beauty of Baltic Sea. Also in Tri-City, we have very good hotels, 3, 4, 5-star hotels. So all the group can find something for themselves. Continue, we are in Marburg. Group in this place will visit the Teutonic medieval brick castle. This is the largest Teutonic brick castle in Europe, with many rooms, corridors inside. They are organized galleries, also archaeological museum with exhibition of armors and military equipment. Toruń, famous because of the Nicholas Copernicus, our Polish astronomer. Also famous because the gingerbreads, all kinds, many shapes. Some of them they are fulfilled jam or marmalade, or you can also create from gingerbread something attractive like buildings, or we can organize some workshop how to bake, how to prepare gingerbread. So something for also leisure groups, also something for teenagers and children. Poznan, beauty of the Renaissance architecture. I think one of the most important building in Poznan is a town hall, fully decorated with ornaments from Renaissance epoch. On the top of the town hall, we can admire the 2 meters eagle, and on the platform above the clock, every day at 12 o'clock at noon, 2 goats appear and they start fighting each other. Goats are symbol of Poznan. Also beauty of the Renaissance city, burglar houses, old market square, something cultural to know better other Polish cities, not only Krakow, Warsaw, but also Poznan. It's worth to visit. Gniezno, as the first capital of Poland, is located on 7 hills, the same as Rome. On the highest one, on name Wzgórze Lecha, Lech Hills, is located the Cathedral of Assumption of Virgin Mary with the remains of Saint Adalbert. So also good place for visiting by pilgrims. Lake of Mazuria. Beauty of this region. This part of Poland is called the area of 1,000 lakes, and it's really true because on this quite small area we can count 1,003 lakes. Beauty of einspol nature. Everybody can find something for themselves. Paradise for canoeists, for sailors. Paradise for this one who would like to go for a walk through Puszcza Piska. We can organize a boat trip to the other resort of Mazuria lakes. Białowieża, one of the biggest national park in Poland, and I think one of the most important place, not only in Poland but also in Europe, because on this area in Białowieski National Park, which is listed on the UNESCO heritage list, we can meet the real bison. It's only 100 bison now in Puszcza Białowieska, so they are very protected, and the ecologists take care about the Puszcza Białowieska and Białowieski National Park. And close to Sokółka and close to Białowieża and Białowieski National Park group also willingly visited Sokółka, which related with the person of Antoni Padewski and the sanctuary of Eucharistic Miracle, which took place in 2008. This Eucharistic Miracle appeared during the Holy Communion. When the group would like to visit Sokółka, we organized them special prelection given by priest to know better the history of Eucharistic Miracle and know better Antoni Padewski and this sanctuary. At the end, Wrocław, situated on the Odra River. It's called the Venice of North because of the many bridges and islands on the Odra River. Beautiful also Renaissance character of this city. Colorful Bulgar houses surrounded, Old Market Square. Worth to see, it's Old Town with Leopoldine Hall and many other places which give you a better view of Silesia. Książ Castle in Wałbrzych. It's the third biggest castle in Poland after Marburg, Teutonic Castle in Marburg and Wawel Castle in Krakow. Consists of over than 400 rooms, many corridors, many utility rooms, beautiful exhibition inside and surrounded by forest and garden. When you are close to Wrocław, you can pass by Książ to admire the beauty of this place, because the history of this castle is very rich and turbulent. Because of its location, he belongs to many countries and was destroyed many times because of the war which took place on this area of Silesia. And at the end, Jawor and Świdnica, churches of peace, beautifully decorated with polychromes and with great construction. Especially what to see its church in Świdnica because of his great organ. How to get to Poland, to Krakow? It's, for example, by bus, but also by plane. We have many airports. You can use the low-cost flights or national flights. The biggest airports are in Warsaw, Krakow, Katowice, but also if you have good connection to Wrocław or Gdańsk, it's not a problem because we can organize transport from each part of Poland. When is a good idea to come? I think all year, because it important for us what you would like to do. So if you give us some idea what you would like to do, we recommend you the best time to come. Of course, January, February, March, we can offer you lower prices, but the temperature can be also low, minus 20 till plus 10. It can be snow, but this is period good for students, for a group of adults. Also, April, it's with the good weather, medium prices, and the best time is that from May till even at the end of August. September, October, they are also a good period. It's also a good period to come because of the quite good weather and not high temperature. It can be possible of rain, but it doesn't matter if you would like to sightseeing. November, December, it starts to be colder, but if it's a good point to come to Poland for Christmas markets, to feel this atmosphere of Christmas, for example, here in Krakow, because on the Old Market Square, many wooden houses are organized inside with traditional Polish cuisine, with souvenirs, handmade souvenirs from this part of Poland. Photo of four seasons: summer, spring, winter, and summer, which present the beauty of our Polish nature. Ernesto Travel, our office exists in European market 15 years. We are a travel agency, tour operator based in Krakow, Poland, Europe. We do everything on tailor-made. We are open for your ideas, for cooperation. We organize leisure tourism, tailor-made, which cover 95% from our groups. It's a cultural trips. We make pilgrimages, incentive miles, trip to Poland and Europe, farm trips, program for students. So we are open for everybody. We also dealing with religious tourism and pilgrimages, Polish and European sanctuaries. We can prepare this kind of program. We can prepare program through Europe, or on the footstep of John Paul II, Faustina Kovalska, and Saint Maximilian Kolbe. We organize over there 4,000 group, 112,000 tourists and pilgrimages, and 15 years of our experience. Here is our website in English language. Of course, they are this website you can find in many other languages with our basic mail, info@ernesto-travel.pl. Also, at the end will be other two mails, me and the mail of our owner. So if you have any question after this webinar, don't hesitate, please contact us. We also cover two biggest events. It was World Eve Day in 2016, and 12,000 people during the celebration, Symphony Cathedral, the suffering of the innocents in Auschwitz in 2013. At the end, I would like to present you some programs. Of course, if you have your own idea, please write us with questions, with a quotation. The first program is through Poland. You can start from Gdańsk, which is situated on the north part of Poland, but you can also start your trip from Krakow or Warsaw. So we will fix this program according to your expectation. When the group arrival in Krakow, they will spend night there. Then we continue to visiting Krakow Market Square, Kajimian part, Wieliczka salt mine. Next day will be Pieniny and Wadowice and Krakow. So, for example, in one place, the group can stay 2, 3, 4 nights according to their needs. And next we go to north to visit Auschwitz-Birkenau concentration camp. We pass by Częstochowa and continue to Wrocław. The group can spend night there because also we have good chains of the hotels, 3, 4, 5 stars. And then continue to Poznan for overnight, next Gniezno to visit the first capital of Poland, next Toruń to taste pierniki, gingerbreads, and continue to Gdańsk, to north part of Poland. There we will spend 2 nights to visit Marburg, the Teutonic castle, continue to Warsaw, the capital of Poland, to spend the night there and visit the old market square and maybe some of the museum which I presented before. So the group can arrive to Krakow, Warsaw, Gdańsk. We have many possibilities. Everything is depend on you, depend on the costs of the tickets. Next program regarding our Polish science. John Paul II, Faustina Kovalska, Maximilian Kolbe on the footstep of the Polish science. It can be, as I remind before, arrival in Warsaw, but also we can start from Krakow. When the group start in Warsaw, they visit Niepokalanów, Immaculate City related with Maximilian Kolbe. Then we continue to Głogowiec and Świnice Warskie to visit the hometown of Faustina Kovalska for a prayer, for reflection. Then continue to Częstochowa, one of the biggest Marian shrine in Jasna Góra, then Auschwitz-Birkenau concentration camp. We go south to Krakow, when we stay for 3 nights to visit Old Market Square, Kajimian district, Wieliczka, beauty of salt underground world, Wieliczka salt mine. Next, Łagiewniki, to visit a center of John Paul II, Do Not Be Afraid, and Divine Mercy Sanctuary, Kalwaria Zebrzydowska, Wadowice, where the John Paul II was born, and Krakow as the city of our departure. Also, not something new, but year by year it's become more popular. 3 Baltic states, Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia. When the group arrived in Vilnius, we spent there 1 or 2 days to visit the Trakai Castle, to also visit the Divine Mercy Sanctuary in Vilnius, to continue to Szawle, the Hill of Crosses, Rundale Palace, beautiful palace, to continue to Riga, visit Jurmale, the resort, one of the biggest resorts in Riga, then continue to Sigulda, to Raida, the medieval castles, to Tallinn. And the group can also continue next to Helsinki, and they can have departure from Helsinki, or we can organize 1-day excursion by ferry from Tallinn to Helsinki, or if the group have available flights from Tallinn, they can finish their journey to in Tallinn. Or for example, the group can come to Tallinn and do the same program but go from north to south. Everything depends on your flight connection. Divine Mercy and in Vilnius and in Poland. Sometimes the group would like to visit Vilnius and connected this trip to Vilnius with the rest part of the Poland. So the group can start from Vilnius, but also they can start from other direction, from Krakow, and go through Poland and finish in Vilnius. So, program which started in Vilnius, very similar as I mentioned before. Vilnius 2-3 days, next Trakai, Vilnius sanctuary, and Sokółka, which I described before with Eucharistic miracle and with Antoni Padewski sanctuary. Next continue to Białystok and Warsaw, to capital of Poland. They can also stop in Płock, which is also related with Faustina Kovalska. and come back to Warsaw. They can visit Głowowiec, Świnice Wartkie, and stay at night in Częstochowa for prayer and reflection, and visit the museum in Częstochowa. Then continue to Auschwitz to reach Krakow. Later visit Saldmine, Wadowice, Łagiewniki, Divine Mercy Shrine, and Center John Paul II. And return from Krakow back. So as you see, we have many possibilities. Be in these places in Krakow, in city, we can create a variety of programs. We can combine 2-3 programs and do it like one. So everything tailor-made according to the client's expectation. The sanctuaries related with the 2 popes, Benedict XVI and John Paul II. We can also organize tours through Poland, start in Munich, passing by Oberammergau and monastery in Etal. We can visit amazing Neuschwanstein castle, Altotting, Mark in the city where Benedict XVI was born. We can continue to Vienna for visiting Hofburg, Schönbrunn, then Bratislava, Budapest with amazing parliament. We can continue to Zakopane, to Polish winter capital of Poland, next to Wieliczka, Krakow, Łagiewniki, to discover the beauty of south of Poland, and finish in Warsaw to visit our capital. On the next webinar, we will describe the imperial cities more, but now some view to other program which can start in Prague through Brno, Vienna, Bratislava, Budapest, and continue to south part of Poland. This part of Europe we will present on our next webinar, so you can have possibility to know these places better, like Prague, Vienna, Budapest, or Bratislava. Ernesto Travel organized also congresses. Last year wasn't possible to do this, but I hope this year we have these possibilities. I hope the coronavirus let us to organize Congress in November, in days 10 till 14 November 2021. So we will inform you when we start preparation for our International Congress of Religious Tourism and Pilgrimages. And our last slide with our email address. If you have any question, you can write me on my email with your questions, doubts, with some quotation, with this problem which you have. Write me what bother you, and I will try to find a solution, and I will try to give you the best information. I do the best I could. So my email address is incoming@ernesto-travel.pl. Also other email address you will find on our website. Also, you can be on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook website. We are very active. All the time we put something new on our media. So if you need something, you would like to see our latest webinar, don't hesitate, click on our YouTube channel and you can find everything there what you need. Thank you for your attention. It was a big pleasure to be with you also with this time. I hope I not bother you a lot, but I hope this webinar give you some point of view of your next trip, next pilgrimage. Thank you very much, and I hope see you soon. Thank you. Thank you for your attention.